Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. I am so thrilled you're here. Now, full disclosure right up front, I am absolutely not a teacher. I'm not here to grade your papers with a red pen or make you memorize those dusty, boring grammar tables. Instead, I want you to think of me as your personal language matchmaker. You see, I'm completely obsessed with the secret codes of English fluency. I love that hidden chemistry between words that native speakers use without even thinking about it. And today, we're going to unlock those secrets together. We're looking at dependent prepositions. So if you've been wanting to upgrade your English so it just flows effortlessly and sounds incredibly natural, you are in the exact right place. We've all been there, right? You're in the middle of this fantastic conversation. The ideas are flowing, you know exactly which action you want to describe, and then, bam, you hit a wall. You completely freeze on the tiny little word that's supposed to come next. You're thinking, okay, I am waiting. Wait, is it waiting for the bus? Waiting to the bus? It's this universal, insanely frustrating moment for literally anyone learning a language. It kind of feels like you have the key, but it just won't turn in the lock. Well, today we're going to make sure that never happens to you again. Okay, let's dive into this. What exactly is a dependent preposition? Well, please don't think of this as a boring grammar rule. Instead, think of it as a linguistic puzzle, or honestly, a romantic partnership between words. A dependent preposition is simply a tiny word, like in, on, for, or to, that naturally and most commonly follows a specific verb. They form a perfect, dedicated team. The verb literally asks for that particular partner to complete its meaning. It's what we call a collocation, which is just a fancy way of saying these words sound perfectly right when they're together. They're basically meant to be. To see exactly what I mean here, take the phrase believe in magic. That partnership is totally locked in. When you use those two words together, you instantly sound like a natural native speaker. The chemistry is just perfect. But listen to what happens if we change it to believe on magic. The very second you swap out that tiny partner for the wrong one, the whole phrase clunks. It gives you away instantly as someone who is translating in their head instead of just speaking from the heart. The preposition completely, 100% depends on the verb. So let's jump into category number 1, the loyal partnerships. These are words meant for each other. For this section, I actually want you to treat this explainer like an interactive mouth workout. Seriously, don't just sit there listening to me. I want you to physically feel how these words fuse together in your mouth. Let's start the rhythm with this absolute classic. I really care about the environment. I want you to say care about in a single breath. Don't pause between them. It is not care about. It's care about their team. Go ahead, say it out loud with me right now. I really care about the environment. Do you feel how smooth that is? That right there is the sound of natural fluency. Let's keep this energetic pace going. Here's another incredibly loyal pair. He decided to apply for a new job. Apply and for, they are completely locked together. I want you to repeat it and really feel how apply for connects seamlessly. When you're writing a resume or talking about your career, you don't apply to a job, and you definitely don't apply on a job. You apply for a job. Say it with me. Apply for. Let's do one more in our loyal partnership workout. That book belongs to me. Belong and to. Link them together so tightly they sound like one single word. Belongs to. This is a fantastic one to practice, mostly because it comes up all the time in daily conversation. Like, whose coffee is this? It belongs to me. Who does this phone belong to? It's a completely loyal relationship. All right, moving on to category number 2. It's complicated relationships. This is when the partner changes the meaning. Okay, put your matchmaker hats back on, because we are leaving the simple, loyal couples behind us. We're now looking at the tricky verbs that change their entire identity depending on who they partner up with. For example, look at the verb apologize. If apologize partners with for, you're talking about an action. She apologized for being late. But if apologize decides to partner with to, you're suddenly talking about a person. She apologized to her boss. It's a totally different relationship. I mean, you wouldn't say I apologized for my boss unless you're secretly sorry they exist. You apologize to a person for an action. Now we can finally solve that mystery from the very beginning of our explainer. The verb wait. If you say, I'm waiting for John, you are expecting a person to arrive. John is the target of your waiting. But if you swap that partner out and say, I'm waiting at the restaurant, you've entirely changed the meaning to describe your physical location. You are located at the restaurant, expecting John. Wait for the person, wait at the location. Mystery solved.
Now, if you want a real chameleon, look at the verb agree. This verb actually has three completely different relationships. If you agree with someone, you share their opinion. I agree with you. If you agree to demands, you're accepting them. She agreed to our demands. And if you agree on something, like a time, it means you're deciding on it together. We need to agree on a time to meet. Three different partners, resulting in three entirely different relationship dynamics.
Up next is category number 3, the easygoing twins. These are interchangeable partners with the exact same meaning.
Okay, take a deep breath. You can officially let out a massive sigh of relief here, because these rare verbs honestly do not care which preposition they date. Just look at the verb dream. The meaning is exactly the same whether you say, I dream of visiting Japan one day, or I dream about visiting Japan one day. It is identical. They're perfect twins. You can swap them out in a conversation whenever you feel like it, and you'll always sound 100% natural and correct. It's just a really nice little free pass in the English language. But, and I'm sure you knew there was a but coming, I have to give you a really quick warning. Most verbs are not easygoing twins. Please, please do not assume you can just swap prepositions around freely. For instance, look at the verb specialize. It is fiercely loyal to in. He specializes in environmental law. That is correct. If you try to say he specializes on environmental law, it's immediately incorrect. Always respect the boundaries of these linguistic partnerships.
Finally, category number 4, the language hacker's gym. This is our final fluency practice.
We have covered so much ground today, and now it's time to lock in your new fluency hacks. I really want you to read these out loud with me, focusing on how the verb and preposition fuse together. Here is our first rep. The success of the project depends on good teamwork. Deeply emphasize that vocal connection. Depends on. Do not let any air between those two words. It is not depends on, it's depends on. Feel how incredibly natural that sounds when you just glide right through it. Let's keep the energy up. You're doing incredible. Read this one with me. He succeeded in passing his exam. Really fuse succeeded and in together. Succeeded in. Now, this is a tricky one for a lot of language learners, but I promise, once you master that soft, rolling connection, you instantly elevate how natural your English sounds. He succeeded in passing. Let's finish up this rhythmic sentence practice with one of my absolute favorites. Who is going to pay for dinner? Pay and for. It's short, it's punchy, and it is a pairing you'll use almost every single day. Celebrate your progress here. You aren't just memorizing rules anymore. You are actually hacking the natural sounds and rhythms of the English language. So, the absolutely crucial point here is that fluency isn't just about knowing tons of big vocabulary words, it's about knowing how the little words connect. Let's do a quick recap of the most critical pairings we matched up today. We have our loyal pair, believe in. We've got our complicated pairs, apologize to a person or for an action. Wait for a person or wait at a place. We have our easygoing twins, dream of or dream about. And of course, our success story, succeed in. I challenge you to confidently read these aloud before we wrap up our session.
And that brings us to the end of our matchmaking session. You now hold this secret codes to making your English sound beautifully smooth and natural. But as we all know, knowledge is only power if you actually use it. So I want to leave you with a provocative question. Which verb partnership will you use today? Seriously, don't just close this explainer and forget about it. Go out into the real world, send a text, write an email, or have a conversation, and test drive one of your new fluency secrets right now. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one.